And new tonight, colorectal cancer is the second most common cancer in the U.S., and it's becoming more common among young adults. 13 Action News reporter Alicia Pattillo shares a story about a local man's journey with cancer and why he says it is never too early to get tested.
At age 50, Johnny Nelson felt he was doing fine. He would hit the gym once in a while. So when his doctor told him he had stage 3 colon cancer, he couldn't believe it.
When I went in, I felt like I was at my healthiest stage in life with no symptoms whatsoever.
That's the thing about colon cancer. There are little to no symptoms until the cancer progresses. Some call it a silent killer.
At stage 3, I was borderline of stage 4. And if it had gotten to stage 4, the battle would have been much more complicated.
But Johnny is not the first person in his family to deal with colon cancer. There's history.
My mother was first diagnosed when she was about 40 years old. We were young then, and she had a surgery. She survived it. About 1998, my sister had colon cancer, but it had metastasized to the point that there was nothing they could do. And she ended up passing away at the age of about 32 years old.
In 2004, Johnny learned his brother was also diagnosed with colon cancer. His brother passed away at just 32 years old. That's when he realized in his late 30s he needed to get a colonoscopy. But he ran into a problem.
My insurance immediately rejected the test, or at least the testing, the colonoscopy. So what I had to do, of course, is to get justification through my own doctor at that time.
Most insurance companies are not required to cover the cost of colorectal cancer screening before age 50. In Johnny's case, his risk was high. His family had a history of the disease at a young age, often associated with Lynch syndrome. Dr. Roger Shung is a colorectal surgeon here in the Valley. He knows the hurdles many have to deal with to get screened and how quickly colon cancer can move once diagnosed.
It is the #2 cancer killer in the world. And given the fact that colon cancer is becoming more rampant, even though that we know more about it, and younger people are getting it more often, I do believe that eventually, if not immediately, the formal recommendation for getting colon cancer should be earlier. Instead of 50, I would recommend at 40 for average risk individual and 35 or 30 for anyone with a risk factor.
There's been an uptick in colon cancer among young and middle-aged adults. There's no single reason why, but genetic diseases, diet, and weight can all play a role. Dr. Shung says the days when it was only a concern for one age group or a certain demographic are no more.
There is no longer a trend towards Caucasians. It's pretty uniform. And there's no longer a trend towards just male. So it's pretty uniform across gender and races.
It's a good thing Johnny started screening early in his late 30s. Once he proved his family's history, his colonoscopies were approved by another doctor and his insurance company. He was getting them done every 2 to 3 years. But despite all of this, when he hit 50, Johnny still could not escape his family's history.
People ask me, are you in remission? I tell them yes in a way, but because of my genetic condition, I still have a 50% chance that it will return.
And Johnny Nelson is now an advocate for colon cancer. He's often sharing the importance of getting tested early throughout the Valley. And to find out more about the disease, warning signs, and information, just log on to our website. That's ktnv.com.